Hi there. Good to see y'all this evening. Let's do some singing tonight. Some singing. Okay. Starting with Soul on Fire. What are you going to do? God, I'm running for your heart. I'm running for your heart till I am a soul on fire, Lord. I'm longing for your ways. I'm waiting for the day when I am a soul on fire, till I am a soul on fire. Again, here we go. God, I'm running for your heart. I'm running for your heart till I am a soul on fire, Lord. I'm longing for your ways. I'm waiting for the day till I am a soul on fire, till I am a soul on fire. Lord, restore the joy I had, and I have wandered. Bring me back. This darkness lead me through until all I see is you. Yeah, God, I'm running for your heart. I'm running for your heart till I am a soul on fire, Lord. I'm longing for your ways. I'm waiting for the day when I am a soul on fire, till I am a soul on fire. Lord, let me burn for you again. Let me return to you again. Lord, let me burn for you again. Let me return to you again. God, I'm running for your heart. I'm running for your heart when I am a soul on fire. Lord, I'm longing for your ways. I'm waiting for the day when I am a soul on fire. God, I'm running for your heart. I'm running for your heart till I am a soul on fire, till I am a soul on fire, till I am a soul on fire. Yeah. Love that song. Let's sing together, No Longer Slaves. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, You have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again into your family. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. Whoa, 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 whoa. You split the sea so I can walk right through it. My fears are drowned in perfect love. You rescued me and I will stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I can walk right through it. My fears are drowned in perfect love. You rescued me and I will stand and sing. I am a child of God. 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 I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. Thank you very much. You can be seated.
I grabbed a mic just for the sake of the video. All right. Hey, we're so glad that you're here. I'm glad that y'all decided to join us and listen to us talk about how miserably hot camp was. No, camp was awesome, and it wouldn't have been possible without you. Our theme this year was Converge, because I didn't know if it had the scripture verse on it. No, I don't remember the scripture verse. It was Converge, and what Alan Friends was the speaker, and Tyler Murphy was the band. And what Alan took us through is he took us through moments where people converged with Jesus. What does that word converge mean? Bring together. I like that. Yeah, it's like kind of how he explained it. But he talked about some very radical moments where people came together, became one with Jesus. And he talked about the paralyzed man who his friends took him and lowered him through the roof, how they climbed onto the roof, busted a hole in it, and dropped this man in front of Jesus. And this man encountered Jesus in that moment. And they talked about the bleeding woman, which is Serena's favorite story in the Bible, and how she had been bleeding all of her life, right? and just touching the hem of Jesus' garment, she was healed, converging with Jesus. And there was several other things, but my favorite message that he talked was Mark chapter 4, verse 35 through 41. That was when the disciples went into the boat, and they were, Jesus was in the boat, and they were headed across the sea, and the big storm came. And some of the points that he made, he said there's 5 things that could help us navigate the storms that are sure to come after we converge with Jesus, the storms that are sure to come. One is we need to remember the promise. The promise is that we will get to the other side. They were surely going to get to the other side. Jesus told them from the beginning, you're going to go to the other side. The second point was you need to leave the crowd behind. Following Jesus is not the most popular opinion in our culture. If you aren't running into Satan, then you're probably, or if you aren't running, yeah, that was right. If you aren't running into Satan, then you are probably walking the wrong way. Leave the crowd behind because they go in the wrong direction. Popular doesn't make it right. It's easier to follow the crowd. The crowd only wants to be negative. The third point was take Jesus with you. Who's in your boat? Jesus was in the boat with them. And so he said, take Jesus with you. But he also asked this question, who's in your boat? Who are you taking with you when you're going into the seas and the storm arises? Who's in your boat? There were other boats with them. There were surely other boats with them. But Jesus was in the disciples' boat. His boat is big enough for all of us. Why would you choose a different boat? The fourth point was wake up your faith. Jesus was asleep, and the disciples woke him up. Do you care if we drown? It wasn't Jesus who needed to wake up. It was their faith that needed to be woke up. Faith must go first. Everything else is behind us. The fifth point is fear is not allowed in your boat. Do not let fear in. Fear is a weapon of the enemy. Fear is counting on you forgetting who Jesus is. So those 5 points were probably one of my favorite messages just because I think it really, really kind of hit a lot of things. Each one of you are facing different challenges in life. You are facing more things than I ever faced as a student because of the access of information that y'all have that I didn't have growing up. And so y'all are always being sucked into the world, into culture, and it's a constant battle. And so the things that it made me remember of is who's in my boat, who's riding with me in Jesus going forward. And I'm thankful to have my wife in my boat. I'm thankful to have Josh in my boat, having other people in this church, all of you in my boat. Yeah, of course, I'm in their boat, No, just kidding. Y'all are in my boat too. But going forward, who's in your boat? Who are you going to be? Who are you going to trust enough to be there with you in the midst of a storm that's going to help you navigate through that? Of course, if Jesus isn't in your boat, then you're probably going to sink. So that was the point of camp. That was the to sum up the entire message. It was just converging with Jesus. Have you had a moment where you have collided with Jesus and became one? And so the kids were challenged. They were challenged in their faith. And several of them made decisions, some who are not with us tonight, and that's okay. But I'm going to let them share. It's not going to be super long, but before the kids go, well, do you want to go last or now? No. All right, I'm going to let Serena go first.
Right? Like done and over with. Okay, so I'm going to start by telling you what my favorite part of camp was, and then I'll tell you about what I learned. My favorite part of camp was chicken dancing with Ty at the silent disco. Because I had never bonded with Ty, and I felt like we had bonded when we chicken danced in this weird setting. Because basically the silent disco is everyone has headphones on, and you can pick a channel, and so half the room can be listening to something different than you are, but you're all dancing. So me and Ty just happened to be on the same channel when the chicken dance came on. It was really fun. for me, Josh had actually talked about the friends bringing their paralyzed friend and dropping him through the roof like 2 weeks before that. Something really, really recently. Josh recently talked about it. But when we were there, he said something that really hit me because I had never thought about it, and Josh didn't say it, and I was surprised. He said, whenever you think about the friends, what if they were teenagers? Because honestly, what adult is going to go, hey, let's walk up the side of the house and do some, property destruction and let's make a hole in the roof? No, that's going to be these people over here who are like, we need to get in the house, guys. He's got to see Jesus. And so I was like, well, I could see Ty and Peyton and just picking out kids going, I could totally see them carrying Haley probably because she gets run over by boats. But, just carrying them. You're welcome. Up the side of the house and going, let's just lower our friend. Let's just make a hole. And so I never thought, hey, it could be young people doing it because only young people would think of it. Because it was always really hard for me to imagine because usually when I think of the story, I think of like Chuck, and, you guys. Not David because he has back issues. But, just people, like adults doing that. And so it never made sense. And so when he said teenagers, I was like, that makes perfect sense, honestly. But that was my favorite part, and that was a different perspective that I learned at camp.
This was one of my favorite trips to camp, but also some of the hardest trip to camp because I was challenged by, I don't know, I was just challenged. I know, who's next? Who wants to go next? She didn't go to camp. All right, come on, Peyton.
Hi, I'm Peyton. So my favorite part of camp was definitely the worship, and I know David and Serena kind of got mad at us because we would wait in line so that way we could be at the very front every time. And they were like, no, let someone else have that opportunity. But we wanted the room to where we could be up there with the band and it would feel more personal. And every time we were, and I could tell that worship affected a lot of us in many different ways. Something I learned is that instead of running away from your problems like a cow would run away from a storm, you should run headfirst into them to where you can get through them faster, like a buffalo runs through a storm. Because if you do it that way, then you take all that pain and struggle with you, you figure out what you need to do with it, and then you get through your problems. But if you run away from your problem, then it's just going to keep chasing you, and it'll end up dragging it out longer. Okay, thank you.
Alan said that cows, they run away from the storm eventually catches them, and then most of them run into a barbed wire fence, and then they eventually die. He said, don't be a cow, be a buffalo. Who's next? Come on, Ty. Okay. Haley? Micah, come on.
Hi. Oh, okay. Hi, for those of you who don't know, I'm Micah. I would have to, starting off with my favorite, experience or part of camp was, I guess, just how many people were there and how we didn't have any distractions, like how we do now, like social media, our phones, and stuff like that. And just everyone getting together and getting the chance to, worship, and live out our faith, especially with people our own age, where again we didn't have to worry about our phones or just daily stuff that we have back here. I'm forgetting something. Okay. I made a decision over there. Well, I recognized and surrendered to the call to ministry. The year before this year, I had actually recognized it and realized I had been called to ministry, but this year I fully surrendered, and especially because it's my senior year, I'm preparing myself for that and just walking with the Lord every day. for that because I need it. And something I learned was just to be that I could lean on Christ and be more bold in not only just like settings where it's fellow believers, but like outside of that, like at school and everything else. Just to not worry about me and myself and how like I'm gonna word things and how I'm gonna like figure it out, but how Christ leads me to it. So, yeah, thank you.
All right, Ty, it's your turn. Good job, Micah.
I'm Ty, if y'all don't know me. I've been coming to Southside for about 5 months now, and it's really, I feel like it's family here. I feel accepted, and I wouldn't change it for anything. But one of my favorite parts about camp was worship and chicken dancing with Serena. It was a lot of fun, and I got a lot out of the worship. One of the things that I learned is that God will put people in your life to help you through situations that you may be going through. Jason and David helped me through a big situation I was going through, and they've been helping me.
All right. So Michael's the youngest. Brian, you're older than Haley, aren't you? Yeah. All right, come here, Brian. Come here. Just quick, real quick. You don't have to say anything too. Jolene said she taught you how to speak in front of people. Here, you can stand right here by me. You don't even have to go out there. Do you want to go out there? No? All right, look that way. Nobody's up there. No? I'm proud of you for even stepping forward. That's a big step. All right. Good job, Brian. Woo! Brian asked me before he even came, he's like, do I have to speak in front of people? I said, just tell them thank you. And he's very thankful. Yeah, he came up here. That's a big deal. Haley, you ready? Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. You're not shy of anything. Come on. Josh gave her the motivation. I love it.
There's another thing with fight or flight. Freeze. My favorite thing about this year is I did not get run over by a banana boat this year. Peyton, you cannot make fun of me this year, as you did last year. I still don't like you for that, Peyton. Anyways, and the thing that I learned is that don't be a cow. Do not run away from your problems, or it'll make things worse. Be a buffalo, like Peyton. Yeah, go Buffs.
Yeah. Good job, Haley. You ready? Come on, man. You can stand right by me if you want.
How you? And yeah. Oh yeah, I gave my life to Jesus at camp.
I mean, that's like the biggest decision of your life, bud. No, he's fine. He did great. I'm very proud of y'all. Yeah, anybody have any questions? What's your question, Riley? It's okay. Camp this year, we had 4 students who gave their life to Jesus. 3 of them, one was Michael and Micah's cousin who lives in Lubbock. He just came, like they texted me like 3 weeks before camp and said, hey, can he go? It's like, let's make it happen. And he gave his life to Jesus, and it was really interesting because like I didn't know him, and he comes to me, he's like, dude, I need Jesus, and I was like, yes, you do, and it was just an awesome moment to sit there and hear him confess and pray to receive Jesus as his personal Lord and Savior. Then we have Lainey Davidson and Paige McGilvery. They gave their lives to Jesus. They are super busy. School starts Wednesday. We took 24 students to camp this year. And 4 gave their life to Jesus. We had several who said that they needed to reaffirm their decision to follow Jesus. They needed to recommit their lives to following him. We had several do that, and we had several students who said that they feel called in some sort of way to ministry, whether it's missions, children's ministry, youth ministry. It was cool to see them actually be vulnerable. My favorite moment of camp wasn't the service, it wasn't the games, it was the small group times. Those are my favorite moments, is when I'm able to sit in the room and listen to these students tell me what God's speaking to them. And so each of them every day would tell me something new that God is speaking to them. And just hearing their hearts, they're going through a lot that we don't see. And so y'all just be praying for them as God moves in their lives. They are encountering many, many things. There are a handful of students, 3-4 students that do not know Jesus, that were this close, but they weren't ready, is what they said. And my prayer has been that God would just light that spark. All it is a spark. Light that fire, and that their hearts would burn for Jesus. And so that's been my prayer, my hope. Super excited for our youth group. God is growing leaders in this church. And I mean, there are, the one thing that I want to change in the minds of my generation and the generations before me is they're not the future of the church, they're the church now. They're the church now. Some of these are members of our church. Some of them aren't. I hope that changes. But when they're a member, they have just as much of a voice as us. They are the church, and we need to continue to disciple them and develop them into being young men and women who are on fire for God and for the local church. And that starts right here. So thank y'all for everything that y'all do to help us. Thank y'all for every donation that you've given to the youth ministry, to camp, and to other aspects of the youth ministry. None of it would be possible without y'all. I mean it. I mean it. So thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of their heart. Thank you. Anything else?
We'll close with some prayer for our teenagers.
Awesome.
I'm very encouraged that recreation is not what they want to talk
I know. That blew my mind.
Is that what you talked about when you went back to your church as a teenager? Recreation? Yeah, I am. Anybody got any specific questions for teenagers before we close this time? All right, then I'm going to ask Chuck if he will offer a prayer for our teenagers, and then that'll end this part of the evening, but we'll have a business meeting.